Hey, the Saints, I'm Jacob Talley.
And I'm Nick Coop.
And this is SFHS Today.
In national news, Vice President Harris, along with Representative Maxine Waters, got COVID and are suffering from mild symptoms.
In school news, for seniors interested in making a graduation speech, at graduation, go see Mr. Toole in D215.
Last month was Autism Awareness Month. Here's a video made by our Multicultural Student Union about what you need to know.
I think the biggest thing I notice, especially as the students get older at the high school level, is social interactions are tougher. Students with autism sometimes have behaviors that might appear unusual or unexpected. They might perseverate on interests, talk about things that they really are interested in. They might do things like rocking or hand flapping or make noises. And so peers at this age level tend to think that they tend to have weird thoughts about these students, and so in turn they don't interact with them. So these students typically struggle to make friends and fit in with their peer group. And so that's something that I see. And one thing I just kind of want to point out with this is that, I just want students to be willing to learn more about, these students and be willing to invite them to sit with them at lunch and get to know them. These students want friends just like everybody else.
How would you describe autism to someone who has never heard of it?
Autism is it's like a complete puzzle, except imagine your brain as a puzzle, but a few of the pieces are missing. That is what autism is. Generally, normal aspects of human actions, we might be missing that, for one.
Well, the best way I know is that autism can have more than one exact meaning. It can altogether mean the way you see things, feel things, and hear things.
Being a parent of an autistic child might have different requirements as it plays out, but at its base, it's just the same as being a parent of other children. You do what you can to help them in the best manner that you see fit in the moment, and we're not always successful, just as parents of neurotypical kids aren't always successful, but you try and you do the best you can.
What are some struggles you face as a person with autism?
Well, it's different for everyone. Like for me, it is the invisible boundaries that we can't see. I'm a hugger, but I don't really have a good idea on what personal space is. So I tend to go into people's bubbles, to the invisible bubbles that we can't generally see. But that's not singly associated with autism. Just like everyone in the world, every autistic person is different.
But the most are with understanding people and for people to understand me. But mostly it's just with small things like communicating but once you keep learning, sticking around with it, you'll always do better.
You embrace their personality, you embrace who they are and all the wonderful things they bring to the world, and they're very, very different.
Is there anything neurotypical people could do differently?
Oh, easy. All they gotta do is be good to one another, give them good help when they need it, and by choice, give them the exact right empathy to do when they all need to. Oh, and patience.
We're human, just like you.
Now over to sports. Hey, Saints, I'm Brody Wyand.
And I'm Eric Wickman.
And this is Sports.
national sports news, the first round in the NFL draft started last Thursday with rounds 2 through 7 wrapping up over the weekend. Jaguars had the number 1 overall pick, selecting edge rusher Trayvon Walker.
In state sport news, the Minnesota Wild have clinched their spot in the postseason and will face off against the Blues of St. Louis in the first round.
In school sports news, a big change is coming to the St. Francis Athletics with the founding of the St. Francis Athletic Booster Club. We went out and talked to the president of the club, Tracy Torson, to find out more.
So, how did the St. Francis Athletic Booster Club get formed, and who's the forming members?
The St. Francis Athletic Booster Club has been really in discussion for many years. It's been going back actually a couple decades of people trying to figure out the best way to improve St. Francis athletics and their programs and facilities. And in the last year or so, it really kind of sped up the progress, and some of the founding members have been myself, Brad Krause is the vice president, Lauren Rothbauer is the treasurer, Jessica Bakken-Clevin is our secretary. We've talked with many other alumni and other community members as far as what are some of the wants, the needs, the necessities of the community, and our overall goal is to kind of improve and help out the programs as much as we can, because all programs comes a cost to make them functional and be successful. And oftentimes throughout the basic fundraising, we still don't have enough money to make that happen. So our ultimate goal with this Booster Club is to be able to help supplement some of that cost and be able to help out those programs and maybe fulfill some of their wish lists. As programs, and also as a district-wide, and also facilities, is hopefully down the road being able to work with the school district, other parts of the city, the community, and our athletic department to improve our athletic facilities in a way that we haven't been able to do so in a long time. So that is our overall goal and what we strive to do. We're really at the beginning stages of the Booster Club. We're planning a couple different events here this summer and into next fall that are possible events in which students and other community members can be involved into and participate in. And I think there are going to be some great opportunities that people haven't heard of yet before that are going to be fun and energetic. Far as right now, we're looking for donations kind of to help out getting the funds started, be able to put on these events, and hopefully here in the next couple months be able to maybe have some funds in which we can give back to programs and kind of start that to kind of say, hey, this is for you guys. We're not doing it for us. We're doing it for current athletics, future athletics, the community as a whole. We have our website right now. It's up and running. It's called sfathleticboosterclub.org. You can definitely go on to that website. There's a button there for you to donate. There's also a email address or a contact form. So if you have any questions or you're curious of other ways in which you can help out or other ideas in which you would like to support us, you can send an email and that will go to the board members, and we can definitely be in contact.
The track team will head to Sauk Rapids on Saturday for a meet this week.
Tennis has a jam-packed week ahead, having 6 matches on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
Softball also has a busy week this week with games on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
That's all we have for you this week.
Now back to Coop and Tatley.
Here's this week's RQT about Mother's Day coming this Sunday.
It's the random question thing. Ding.
What is your favorite memory of or with your mother?
My favorite memory with my mother is whenever we go out and we do things together. We have a 1 to 1.5 hour time cap. So anything past that 1 and 1.5 hour time cap, we start fighting. But things are pretty nice within that 1 to 1.5 hour time restraint.
Just my mom coming to all my sporting events and supporting me, that just means so much to me.
My favorite memory with my mom is all of them because she's my best friend.
One of my favorite memories of my mom is going to the farm to visit her, and I couldn't find her anywhere, and I was worried about her. And she was in her garden, and she had a hay wagon, and she had a ladder on the hay wagon, and she was picking apples. She was for sure over 80 years old, and she's just a super hard worker. And I was like, go mom.
My favorite memory of my mother is when it was my birthday. She brought me a Dairy Queen and I had an awesome burger.
My favorite memory of being with my mother was when I was at McDonald's and I was very little at the time. Yeah. And I got a fry stuck up my nose and I couldn't take it out. So we tried for a long time, and so basically we went to the hospital, and the doctor was like, oh, okay, well, we can't take it out, so we might have to like do surgery on it. And so then the doctor left, and so my mom was like, did this to my nose, and she was like, blow, and I blew it and the piece came out. So that was a very good memory.
See you next week.
Stay safe, Saints.